Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Hey everybody, welcome to Late Night Crafting. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful evening. And let's find myself. We shall find myself. So this is the first time I am presenting in this group. So it is the Late Night Crafters. You know, most of y'all know that I'm usually one of the last ones on in events and stuff because I do craft at night. I am a late night crafter. I feel like I get plugged in and I'm ready to go at, about like 10 o'clock. I feel like I get a whole nother wound of juice in me to keep on going. So if you are up late, I hope you can join us. So I was super excited to be able to hop on and be part of this group today. My understanding is we present on Mondays and Fridays. So yeah, hopefully. Hey there, Marcia, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling me out. Hello there, Miss Bonnie. Welcome. Thank you for joining me, y'all. I know it's late, but hey, like I said, a lot of us, this is when we do our best work, right? And then again, for Miss Wendy, it is still so dang gone early, it ain't funny. It's still early for you. I'm like, girl, what you talking about? It's still early. Because, when I'm like getting ready to head to bed or stuff, she's maybe starting to get tired. Because of the time difference. So, hey there, Pumpkins. How you doing? So, Pumpkins is actually up after me. I'm excited to see her. So, let me turn you guys down. We're just going to hang out. I have a project that I need to work on. And so, I am on Whatnot, for those of you who may not know. And I am actually on a raid train coming up in February. It's just, pretty much this weekend, but it's next weekend and next week. And it is all about Marie Antoinette. So I found this. She lights up. She's really cute. This is actually from the Christmas stuff, Christmas ceramic decor from Michael's. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Hey there, Miss Sheila, Miss Kelly, welcome in. So I was like, you know what? We are going to color this. We're going to paint it up. We're going to make it look pretty. She's going to be one of the items that I'm going to have for that event. So I've got stuff I got to work on. So I was like, you know what? That's what we'll do tonight. Since, it's pretty much like crafter's choice. So why not? So yeah, how's everybody doing? Get all the dust off from where she's been sitting under my desk waiting to get painted. But I hope everybody's doing well. She kind of made me think of Marie Antoinette with the big hair and the big dress and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. My daughter already told me of something else that I need to do, so I'll be working on that. Because her and Gare both, they know how much I love doing my vignettes. Hey there, Miss Alicia. And so she was like, Mama, you gotta do one of your little shadow boxes. And So I'll be working on that too, making some clay pieces and stuff to go with that. So we shall see how it goes. Alright, so I'm going to mix some paint up, and then we are going to hopefully be able... Y'all, I just brought all of my brushes back from the sink in the kitchen where I washed them. So there's no reason why you are not acting right. So let's mix up some colors. I am gonna go a little on the pastel side, because if you look at a lot of like the movies and memes and printables that they have for anything Marie Antoinette, it tends to always be in, you know, your pinks, light purples, like mint colors. So those are the colors that we will be working with. So that's what I want to work with. And I've been working today behind the scenes, trying to get stuff rolling with the retreat that I have in July. We still have spots available if anybody wants to join us. It'll be in Oklahoma. So if y'all want to join, just send me a message and we'll get you rolling. So I am going to be painting, and I will try my best to keep up with the chat. You did? How cool. That's awesome. So you want some Happy Meal, huh, Miss Alicia? That's fun. I like watching Justin. He's the one who got me into making gnomes a lot. I used to make a lot of gnomes. And he's the one who got me into making them. And then I was watching a tutorial earlier, and I did go live earlier. I was since the event group that I was supposed to be in, the event was canceled, so I hopped on and went live for Craft Go. If you guys are not don't watch that, it's a fun event. It's very laid back. Hello there, me moms. How are you? Aha, that you've got a lucky streak, girl. You need to go and get you a lottery ticket or something. How are you doing, my friend? How are you doing, Miss Sheila? So next week, I have an event on the 4th. I'm excited for that one. Our theme is Love is in the Air, and I already have my project in my head. Well, I've had that idea since obviously I came up with the event. Look, sometimes when I come up with a theme for an event, I already have an idea of what I want to do, and then other times I got no clue. None. Hello there, Michelle. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us here at the late night crafters edition. I'm just painting away, trying to get me a decent little coverage here. I'm so tempted to just go over the whole thing. and then worry about doing the details later. That's what we're gonna do. It's freezing cold. Hey, I hear you. I don't like it either. Okay, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to this freezing cold weather. I don't like it when it decides to ice over. Because, you know, it's not supposed to happen. I'm in the South for a reason. There's a whole reason why when I was looking to move to the US that I did not go north. And yet it still gets cold down here. I am doing well, my friend. Thank you for asking, Miss Alicia. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. We did lose some power yesterday. Evidently some of the icy limbs must have caused some issues there, because we did lose power for a bit. I'm glad it didn't last too long, because my daughter was already starting to show that she was going to have a little bit of an anxiety issue going on there. Hello there, Miss Tina. Welcome. I am glad that you have joined me, my friend. So my name is Tamara, but everybody knows me as T. And I'm part of the Late Night Crafters today. I'm super excited to be here. I'm usually the last person on in most events that I'm in, because I am that late night person, and I don't mind, you know, coming on late. Because like I said, that's normally when my brain actually starts to function. You know? 10 o'clock, I feel like that's when everything tends to kick into gear. In the morning, you know, doctors don't understand when I tell them that I sleep better in the daytime. Like, I feel like I sleep better in the daytime. Oh, you gotta go to bed early. When I do, I wake up tired. So, I live in Georgia. I live in the state of Georgia, not too far from Atlanta, actually. So, I'm in the South. Like I said, you would have thought that we would be able to stay warm down here, but ew. These Arctic weathers are changing everything on us. It is 3 p.m. here. Where are you, my friend? Where are you, Miss Tina? Because, wait a second, that 3 p.m., that puts you at being... You know what? Yeah, that is when I feel like I rest, is in the late night mornings, Miss Sheila. That is when I feel like I'm getting my good sleep. And, you know, yeah, I gotta get up and I gotta do stuff. And then that's why I tend to take naps in the afternoon, because I didn't sleep well. I didn't get my sleep in. So, it is 9:16 in California, Miss Michelle. Wow. Mimas, thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment, hon. Yeah, it is. Oh, you are in Australia. Well, good afternoon, friend. How fun. That is a country that one day I hope to visit. My father has family out that way. Not that I'm really close to them, but he has family. His uncles and some of his cousins live in Perth. And that's where he was raised, actually. So that is super cool. It's very hot. Yeah, we got freezing rain right now. So, well, welcome, welcome. So, I'm so honored that you're here, my friend. It's so much fun. I know right now, on the other side of the world, everybody is awake and doing their thing. My son he's working, doing his stuff. So, hey there, Miss Jackie. Good evening. Well, good morning. Good early morning. Oh, no. You're fine, hon. You are A-okay. Look, I know that my phone be dying too all the time. I'm bad about that. I am horrible about that. Covington. It is about 30 minutes southeast of Atlanta. Really? You know what? That is actually how I got into crafting. Was my mom was a big ceramic painter. That was her thing. She did other kinds of crafts, but ceramics were her thing, and that's what I started doing. She actually still has a little piece that I had made. And I actually still have a lamb that she turned into a lamp for me. I still have that, actually. And it traveled with me, and it's traveled with me, and ironically it has made it. So, but yeah, she had a kiln and everything. Like I said, ceramics were her thing. I know. It's you don't find them as often anymore. Like I said, I remember growing up and going with my mom to a ceramic store, and at first we had to go all the way to the capital, which was about an hour drive for us. And then they opened up a small place in the town near us, so we would go there, and she would go paint with her friends, and I got to, pick out the different ones, and then, it was so nice to get to see them fired up and see them glazed and everything. I absolutely loved it. It's a beautiful process, for sure. And then she ended up getting a kiln, and then she would just fire. We would still go to the place because they had the molds and everything. And it was so fun to watch them demold the ceramics, and how you have to clean them up and everything. I love the process. And then yeah, said we would paint them, but then she would fire them up at the house, and it was just a lot of fun. I remember she did. Y'all remember the big ceramic Mr. and Mrs. Claus? They were very popular, I think, in 80s, early 90s. They were a big thing, the ceramic Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I remember when she did those. You made quite a bit of them. It is a lot of fun. So yeah, every once in a while I do like to pick up a ceramic piece. And I like that you can find these unfinished ones over, like I said, I got this one at the Michaels. So that was a lot of fun. And like I said, it was Christmas, so it was on discount, and it's gonna work perfect for the theme that I have. Oh no, yeah, we had freezing rain. It really did freeze, Miss Jackie. I didn't take pictures of it, but like the rain, um it fell like on the handles of the truck, and like at the bottom of the truck, on the sides of the house and everything. It was just the icicles where it froze. And it's like, ah. You still have molds? Oh my gosh, how cool. That is so cool, Miss Sheila. That is actually really, really cool. Hey, Kelly Cat, how are you doing? It was pretty on the trees. Our grass. I looked outside, and all you can see is the long patches of grass were like wilted over, and just icicles on them. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm like, it's pretty, but it's cold. I'm like, no, thank you. And then of course I constantly ask the cats, like, why in the world do you want to go out? It's so cold and it's wet, and you're putting your paws on that. Like, I don't get that. So I'm gonna tip her over so I can get under her arm. So where are you, Miss Jackie? You use them with drier lint now instead of clay. Oh, interesting. Wow, doll molds. Oh, how cool is that? That is so cool. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think that ceramic dolls or porcelain dolls are creepy, but that's cool though, having the molds. Yeah, I still think they're creepy though. That is still one thing that I'm like, I don't know. And then of course they come out with movies like Annabelle. Don't help a person like me who's already thinks they're creepy and stuff. You know? I'm like, not helping. Y'all are not helping a sister here. And so, how are you doing, Miss Kelly Cat? How is married life going? Such a blessing when you're able to marry your best friend. Okay, I'm going to try to paint in these little nooks and crannies so we don't have any white peeking out. So what's everybody got going on? I know it's just the beginning of the year, but we got anything fun and exciting happening? Or anything we're looking forward to, maybe? Doing okay. I hope you're also married. Life is great. That's awesome. That is wonderful. Both my daughters got engaged. Oh, wow. Congratulations. Whew, you've got lots of planning to do. That is awesome, though. That is a blessing, you know. See our children grow and move forward. My son would have nightmares because I had dull Miss Sheila, yes, I would. I wish. I don't have how to fire it, so she is just going to get sprayed with a sealant, because hello there, Miss Karen. Welcome in, welcome in. My name is Tamara, but everybody calls me T. And you have come into my Crafty Fox Den. I am part of the late night crafty crew today, and I'm excited that you've joined me. Oh, well, that's definitely no fun, Miss Jackie, going to the dentist. Now that you talk about that, I gotta go to the dentist. Wednesday, well, technically for my son, it's already his birthday. Because he is a whole day ahead of us in Japan. So technically for him, it's already his birthday. And it'll be the second birthday that I do not get to spend with him due to his military life. But I'm so proud of him. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? It's good that they have chosen their own path, Miss Michelle, and that they are doing what is going to make them the happiest. We didn't have, me and my husband, we didn't go to the Justice of the Peace. We went and got our marriage license and had it signed by our rabbi. Went to the courthouse, picked it up, had him sign it for us, and then a few months later we did a ceremony waiting for so my family could have a chance to get over here, or at least those who could, because my dad can't fly, so he wasn't able to come. So it was small. It was just mainly family and closest friends, and that's all that really mattered to us, you know. So, oh wow, really? It's thank you and thank them for their service. I know as a mother, it definitely weighs on us, and we're constantly praying for them, because no matter what they're doing, you know, it's definitely a harder thing, I guess, choice in life to pick. You know, and it's funny because he's the one that we all thought was going to go to art school, because he's the artist of the family. Very talented. and he's the one who decided to go military. So, yeah. Oh, so you get to so you have an anniversary coming up. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, Miss Jackie. So, some good celebrations coming up, huh? That's wonderful. Hello there, pink butterfly. Welcome in, friend. Thank you for joining us here with the Late Night Owls Crafty crew, because we're just hanging out while I'm painting and we're chit-chatting, getting to know a bunch of new friends. So super excited about that. Yeah, that my brother, he went to Iraq and Afghanistan, and yeah, that was hard. That was hard. I had seen the news about a helicopter going down, and I had a gut feeling, because we had just talked on the phone, because he was supposed to be coming home, and he was like, they were supposed to be done with all of their missions. So my brother was a flight engineer. So he was the mechanic while they were flying. That if something, he had to be able to fix it on the fly. And so they got the other helicopter team, there was something wrong with their helicopter. So they told them, and he told me, he was like, we have one more mission we gotta go do. We gotta go drop off some voting ballots. And I was like, okay. He's like, I'll see you. And, and I was like, okay, great. And then I was at work, and work was playing the news, and I saw where they were showing some footage, and I was like, I was already in the back, and I had a gut feeling something was not right, and then I saw the news, and I was like, oh Lord. So, then I got the call that him and his whole crew had been injured. There was a fatality, so of course, until I got the call, I was praying that he wasn't the fatality. And yeah, that was hard. And then he moved in with us, with me and my kids' father at the time, and well, their father, my husband at the time. And a lot of prayer, and he still suffers with PTSD and issues, but he survived. That's actually not coffee, that's tea. I actually essentially made myself a British tea today, because I added cream and sugar to it. But he is doing well. He married a lovely lady. They have a beautiful little girl who is a Spitfire. Totally took after her father. He's built himself a good little business. He moved to Switzerland with with my parents, and he actually just posted he just won a bunch of awards. One of his bikes did at a big expo that they had. So, very happy. He did, you know, he's come a long way. There's still times that he'll call, because there's things on his mind. And I think sometimes it's easier to talk with me than to try to explain some of it to his wife and stuff. Plus, like I said, I was there when, you know, he was going through stuff. But she's helped him a lot because he was starting to go down a really bad road. And that's when my mom was like, why don't you come visit us in Switzerland? And he didn't come back. So, but he's doing really good for himself, which I'm very proud of. Very proud of him. I have never heard of that kind of tea before. Yes, so the Brits like their cream and sugar in their tea, and it's actually pretty good. Do it with like a black tea or with a like an English breakfast English breakfast tea type. So yeah, pretty good. Oh, you got married on Valentine's Day? Oh my gosh, that is so sweet. Had 25 people, came, $12 a person. We had dinner, cake, band, photography, and video. And a whole wedding cost less than $300, and all the people from the church were the witnesses. Oh, that's awesome. And then you took a cruise. Hey, there you go. That's the way to do it. There's no reason to overspend in like a ginormous, lavish wedding, you know. I mean, if you love that, sure, but yeah, I totally get it. Me and hubby, we like, nah, we'll put that towards, you know, time we had the goal of a house, and yeah, we'd rather travel. So, which, talking to Twitch, we just booked a cruise. We're gonna go in February. On Valentine's Day we leave. So hubby's like, there's Valentine's Day. And he's like, we're having a Valentine's Day cruise. And I was like, huh? He's like, you didn't realize that we're booking it? That's how you drink your tea? I like it like that. I do. It is actually quite yummy. It is actually quite yummy. Should probably take that off, right? So, yeah. I'm very grateful for our servicemen and women, because it is, and their families, because it's hard on everybody. Like I said, my brother couldn't count much on the wife he had at the time, so I'm glad that I was able to be there. But it's hard. It's rough. And while I'll never completely understand everything he goes through, it was, you know, just hard seeing him like that. And now my son, he went Navy. He went Navy, and he's currently stationed in Japan, which is, oh my gosh, the more I look into the country, it is gorgeous. I can't wait to go visit. Oh, we will be going to, we're leaving out of Miami. We will be going to the Bahamas, to Mexico, to Belize, which I've never been to, neither of us have ever been to, and to Honduras, which neither of us have ever been to either. So super excited about that, because I love the idea of traveling to places I've never been. So, which is why the next big trip that we're going to be planning is going to be for to go and visit my son. So yay. Was outdoors family farm dinner, made all the family, DJ, plywood dance floor. Now that sounds like fun. So I'm actually mixing, I mixed rosy mauve and cameo pink, because the rosy mauve is a little dark, but I wanted to lighten it up a little bit, so I used the cameo pink, which is a very, very, very pale pink. And then now I am using Key West, and we're going to use that for some of the details on her dress. And so I got a fine tip, and we're going to paint her. Now I know I'm not going to get this all done in my hour, because Pumpkin is coming on, but at least y'all can see where we're going with it. Ah, thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate it. Miss Brandy, you've been there? I've never been there, so I'm so stoked. I am super excited. That was one of the things when we were looking at going on taking a cruise, was we wanted to go someplace we hadn't been to. So that one is going to be a lot of fun. You're going to hide in my luggage? Yeah, I think so I've got a retreat planned for July, but I want to plan a crafting cruise. I think that would be so much fun to have a group of us who love to craft, and then take a cruise, and you know, on the sea days we get to craft together. I think that would be so much fun. I love sunflowers. They're so beautiful. Ooh, yeah, see, there you go. Family made the food. Pig. Oh, yum. Yep, not allowed to drive, exactly. But you know what? That is really fun. That kind of reminds me more of you know, like the get-togethers that we have back in Costa Rica, because like everybody brings something, and you know, you just have a good old time with the family. Like, I don't know, I do miss the family connection. I don't feel like there's that much of it in the US. I feel like everybody's kind of like on their own thing. And so staying connected to the older generations gets lost, which is a pity. And, you know, you do see it's not just the US, because I noticed it also in other, you know, first world countries, if you want to say, like in Europe. You know, everybody's so busy doing their own thing that they just keeping the traditions, and you know, staying close to the elderly. It's just not, it's not there. And you know, family coming together, you don't see it as often, and it's really sad. because family should be everything. That sounds like so much fun, though. I told Gare when we went to a funeral recently, I was like, I don't want any type of gathering or anything, cause you know, if I was like, if I pass before you, I'm telling you this right now, I don't want any kind of anything, memorial, nothing. Cause if people didn't think of me while I was alive, I don't need you to go through the headache of who shows up and who doesn't show up, and then having that, taunting you. Cause my poor niece had to deal with her siblings not showing up to their father's, memorial. And I'm like, we're not gonna go through that of who did and who didn't, and that's too much of a headache. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, because it is a lighter color, I do have to go over a few times. That's the only thing. And see, if you do fire up a piece, sometimes you don't know what's going to come out, but normally the colors tend to darken when they get fired up. So sometimes you don't have to go over as much. But seeing as I do not have the option of firing her, we're just going to do what we can with the colors that we have. I want to thank Miss Marcia and Miss Wendy for having this late night crafter group. I'm so glad that somebody decided to do something like this, because we do need it. Because we do have a lot of us creators who are on late. I can understand that. But see, that's my thing. It's like, it was bad. It's just, I felt so bad for her, because her own siblings, his own kids, didn't want to come. And so, out of the 3, she was the only one. Like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad. Because whatever issues, and that's what I was telling my husband, I was like, whatever issues they had with their father, he's gone. Right now, they should be here, not for him, but for their sister. She was close to him, and it's hitting her hard. So, if nothing else, they should be there for her. But people are very stubborn, and sadly, it hurts. I could possibly call. There's a place in the next county over that does pottery. I could call them and see if they would do it. I don't know if they will, since it's not one of like their pieces. But I can call. It don't hurt to ask, now does it, Miss Michelle? Thank you, Miss Marcia. I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm very happy that I got to hang out with y'all today. And Miss Pumpkin will be on later, so y'all need to stick around to watch her and see what she's gonna do. And I'll probably continue to paint while she's crafting along, because I'm already on this. Exactly. Exactly. I agree so much with that statement, Miss Jackie. Exactly. It doesn't hurt. It does not hurt. And most they could do is tell me no, we won't. Right? So up after me is Pumpkin Crafty Creations. She will be up after me. And she will be the last presenter for this late night craftiness. Then my daughter just reminded me before she went to bed that I need to call the vet in the morning because now I'm confused. I told my son that I had made the appointment for his cat, my fur grandbaby, for Tuesday, but on my calendar it says on Wednesday. So she was like, Mom, which is it? And I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I'm gonna have to call. Because now I don't know. Now I'm questioning myself. I don't know. I don't know what I did. So we'll call and figure that out. But yeah, if you guys do want to come and join in July 30th through August 2nd, we will be in Talala, Oklahoma for the retreat. I still have spaces open. And if you're interested, you can send me a message and get you the information. I'm so excited. You have 6 dogs. We have 6 cats. We have 6 cats. Well, right now we have 7 cats in the house because we're taking care of the grand fur baby. Because with the way the weather was and everything, my son was like, I don't know if I'll make it back from work. So he said that with the roads being icy and all, and he works at about an hour away from his house, so he was gonna go stay at his girlfriend's, but he didn't want to leave Beth over the weekend by herself, because he was like, even though I can get somebody to, get my roommate's mom to feed her, she needs interaction. And I was like, it's fine, she can come stay with us. And then he was like, and if you could see about getting her into the vet. So I told him, and he was like, okay, well then just keep her a few extra days. I'll come get her Wednesday because I'll be off Thursday. That way I get to spend the day with her. And I'm like, oh, he loves her so much, and I'm so happy. Oh no. When our old babies go, it's so hard when you start to see them starting to suffer. We have a senior cat, and he's actually not in bad health right now. Even though right now I'm a little bit concerned about his tummy swelling. But we have a munchkin, and she has a lot of upper respiratory issues. So it's so hard because they're like our kids. Yes. So Pumpkin's Crafty Creations will be up in the next 3 minutes actually. I was about to say 6 minutes, but in the next 3 minutes she'll be up. And again, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, I'm just gonna paint away. I do plan on using the purple for the flowers, and then I actually have gold that I will use for the rest of the ornate pieces, you know, to make it pop, because it was all about lavish during the Rococo time period, which is the time period of Marie Antoinette. The big hair styles, and then just showing off everything. Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Hopefully the medication will help, at least so she's, you know, not having a hard time breathing. Because that's, I said, when you love them like your own kiddos, because you do, you end up loving them like your own kiddos, and it's hard to see them in pain, just like if we had a kid, you know, just like when like Caroline is sick or something. It's the same thing. Same thing. So that's what I'm gonna be working on. So like I said, I'm gonna do the lavender, the light lavender for the roses, and then we'll do all of the nice little ornate pieces in gold, and we'll obviously have to give her some skin tone. This will probably end up being gold as well. But yeah, that's what my project's gonna end up being, and when I am done, I'll take a picture of it. But I'm gonna see if I'm gonna call and see if we can get her fired up, Miss Michelle, and see if she does, if I can. So thank you so much. Let's go watch Pumpkin, and hopefully I can join y'all in the late night crew again, and we can hang out and chit chat again. It was so nice to have all of you. Remember that you are loved, that you are a blessing to me and to others as well. And I am so grateful for every single one of you, and I keep you all in my prayers. So have a wonderful early morning. Let's go enjoy Pumpkin and be blessed, my friends.